Nearly 30 million adolescents are involved in youth sports in the United States. Sports can serve as an outlet for many adolescents and can even help children find a passion in the sport they play. An adolescent is defined by the World Health Organization as a person between the ages of 10 through 19. Even if a younger adolescent starts playing a sport, but they do not continue it into their later adolescent years, there is still a lot they can learn from the experiences they had. I have been playing softball since I was 4 years old. I cannot even begin to describe the major impact that playing softball has had on my life. I started out playing recreationally, but whenever I was 10 years old, I started playing competitive travel softball. I have had so many life-changing experiences, and I know that others have had the same through their sport. I believe that playing sports as an adolescent is important because it is a great source of exercise and developing cardiovascular health. It is great for helping develop life skills that otherwise may not be developed, and it can give a sense of community to those participating in sports and even those who don't participate but just like viewing and learning about a sport. Adolescents being involved in sports is good for their overall health. Organized sports practice multiple times a week and can even have games throughout the week or on weekends. Different types of sports focus on different types of exercise, such as cardiovascular strengthening or muscular strengthening, or even some coordination skills. It can be hard for many older adolescents to make time in their routine for exercise, despite how important it is in everyday life. I know a lot of teenagers, which would be adolescents in their later years, find it very hard to balance the responsibilities of school, homework, and sometimes a job. Being involved in an organized sports makes it easier to have built-in time for exercise in your weekly routine. I can say that softball is how I get most of my exercise. I get most of my exercise throughout the week and on weekends with my practice and with my team practices and workouts. I also play most weekends in the fall and summer, and in the spring, I play games throughout the week. I feel very driven on my own to work out and help improve my health, just so it can help improve my overall performance. It is also known that adolescents who participate in sports are more likely to be active as adults as well. Sports help adolescents develop life skills that otherwise may not be learned. When I was younger, it was really hard for me to speak up and voice my opinions to others. This resulted in me not working very well in groups at school. I was very quiet and shy. It wasn't until I was 10 years old and I started playing competitive travel softball that I learned the importance of using my voice and communicating with others. It is essential on the softball field to use communication because if you don't, that could actually cost a game. There are 9 people on the field at once, all with different but similar jobs, trying to accomplish the same thing. It can be quite confusing, and no communication can be detrimental. I realized how this translates to life as well. I began to communicate more throughout my daily life, and not just in softball as well. Without softball, I don't know that I would have mastered this skill quite as well, and this is also applicable to all other kids who participate in all other different kinds of sports. And this is also not only for the concept of communication, but also life skills such as teamwork and respect for others. I know that others have experienced the same sort of developments throughout their own sport. I believe that sports give adolescents a sense of community, whether it be through playing a sport or simply enjoying and viewing the sport. As an adolescent, it can be very hard to feel like you have somewhere to belong. A lot of adolescents involved in sports are involved in team sports. It is a good way for people with the same interests to connect. Spending a lot of time with your teammates allows for many opportunities to build friendship and trust among one another. It can give a much-needed sense of belonging that a lot of young people seek. This is true even with adolescents who don't necessarily play a sport, but they enjoy viewing and learning about a sport. They can find other people who are interested in the same thing to bond with. I believe that sports are important to be a great source of exercise for adolescents, to help them develop life skills, and to help give them a sense of community, whether that be by participating or viewing. I know that my life would not be the same today if it were not for the sports, and I know that others can relate.